Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Welcome back inside the State Champs Sports Network studios. My name's Lauren Plant, and it's time for another episode of State Champs Hangtime Indiana. High school boys basketball is all we do here. We've got a slew of highlights from throughout the Hoosier State loaded up. Plus, our Hangtime insiders, Greg Rakestraw and Bob Stambazze, will talk the latest in hoop news. So let's go!
I'm Chuck Pellerito, and let's check out the 8th-ranked team in the state, the Tigers of Christmas Addicts, as they host the 7-7 Firehawks from Victory College Prep in a non-conference matchup. The Firehawks get us started here. Check out Israel Barnett knifing through defenders and getting the touch off the glass and the rim. VCP ran out to a 21-12 lead, but just before the quarter ends, Sincere McMahon gets the pass and does the rest himself. The Tigers trailed by 7 after 1, and just as quickly as they were down, they got back into it. McMahon from deep to get the Tigers within 3 only a minute into the second. After a 34-point quarter, Christmas Addicts led at halftime 48-31. The Tigers found their groove and kept on motoring. All alone, Malik Tansmore gets it over to Jason Hall and nothing but net. VCP trying to claw back into it. Isaiah Hamilton finds a lane and he'll take it with a little kiss off the glass. But the Tigers were firing on all cylinders. Tansmore with nobody around gonna go up and finish with the big one-handed slam as Christmas Addicts goes on to win this one big. 111-68 our final score.
I just think we're gelling well. Everybody's coming together, playing as a team, moving the ball. Defensively, our pressures getting easy buckets for us. So then we're able to, I think they started out in the 1-3-1 and we just didn't recognize it. And then once we settled in and got in, players are doing well. So all in all, I think going into March, playing the right way, doing the right things that we need to do, going into one of the toughest sectionals in the state.
I'm Glenn Marini from the Fort Wayne area. Huge game in the Summit Athletic Conference. Schneider and Carroll, 2 of the 4 teams that came in, tied for the SAC lead. First quarter, that's Ray Vollmer with 3 of his 12, but Schneider gets the last laugh of the opening quarter. Carson Jenkins lets the 3 go at the buzzer, knocks it down. He had 16. Schneider up by 4 after 1. Second quarter, Jenkins picking up where he left off. He was burning the place down. Schneider goes up by 8. Panthers dominating in the second quarter. John Barnes Jr. lobbing it to Michael Ely. The junior had 16. You saw him slam it home, and yeah, the Panthers raised the roof. Time winding down in the second. Ryan Preston knocks it down as Carroll gets some momentum heading into the half. Down 9 out of the break. Carroll starting to catch some fire. Richie Gross makes this a 1-point game, and Carroll fans are loving it. Late fourth quarter, Jalen Jackson with the pull-up. He had 21 to lead the Chargers, and Carroll gets his first lead since early in the game. Schneider down by 1 down the stretch. They go inside to Dylan Duff, 2 of his 17. And Panthers of Schneider take a 1-point lead there and hold on to win 56-55. Here's Schneider standout Dylan Duff and Coach Jeremy Rauch.
We've worked too hard for this. Every day in practice, coming in every single day, working as hard as we do. We deserve this game, and I think, coming out with the win, we deserve that. I just got it and shot it. Mamba mentality.
As a culmination of all the work that we put in, we play with that sense of urgency like the game's supposed to be ours. We practice so hard. We say, practice like you've never won, play like you've never lost. And credit the guys, obviously. They play with a toughness and yet a composure and ability to hit big shots down the stretch to get the job done on the road.
To the Eagles' Nest in Churubusco, coming in, Central Noble ranked 11th in the state in 2A, Busco 14th in 2A. First bucket of the game, it's a good one. Landon Jordan slamming it home. He had 13 points and 19 rebounds at Busco, feeling its oats. Sawyer Yoder for Central Noble to Connor Asijan with the layup. Central Noble up by 2. Asijan, the super sophomore, had 20 points. Busco going outside. Hunter Perlich hits a 3. Busco up 1. Perlich leading the Eagles with 16 points. Central Noble's Sawyer Yoder led everybody with 24, but it would not be enough as Busco wins a key NECC contest by a final of 70-61. In the Allen County Athletic Conference, Jay County and Bluffton, a win by the Bluffton Tigers, and they'd be 5-0 in conference and clinch at least a share of the ACAC crown. First quarter action, the Tigers going to Hayden Nern. It's a good idea. He weaves through traffic and lays it in. The Tigers jump out to an early 2-point lead. With the game tied, it's Nern again, and he gives the Tigers the lead back. Now, Jay County goes to the outside. Noah Arbuckle for 3. And then you're going to see the Patriots on the break. It's Ethan Dirksen off the feet from Braden Sprunger. Jay County up by 3. But the man early in the game was Mr. Hayden Nern. He got the reverse layup there. Bluffton goes on to win a low score 34-28 as the Tigers of Bluffton clinch at least a share of the ACAC title.
As per usual, alongside Bob Stambazze, I'm Greg Rakestraw. This is State Champs Indiana Hangtime. Thank you so much for joining us. You've probably figured out by now that Fort Wayne and the surrounding area is the area of expertise for the Baz. So with that, my friend, I cede the floor to you to start today's show. Let's talk about Schneider and Carroll first.
Well, here we go again. Another late rally and late score by Schneider gets them the win over Carroll, and I just tell you, that was a game I thought Carroll would get them because of their tempo that they can play, but Schneider, big in the middle, and that caused real issues for Carroll and got them the win, which was a big win up there in the SAC.
There are almost two different debates to have about Fort Wayne basketball. You know, is Blackhawk the best team? That's a great water cooler conversation to have, but let's kind of focus on the 4A teams because Homestead, Schneider, and Carroll all appear to be pretty solid. And again, because the way the sectional works out, there can be up to 2 Fort Wayne teams from the 4A ranks that make their way to Logansport for the regional. Who do you expect to be the teams that are playing past the first weekend in the Fort Wayne area?
I got to tell you, one of the big teams that jumps out at me is Chris Johnson's Homestead Spartans. Yeah. I mean, great coaching. That he's been there, very athletic, but a very smart basketball team. And I say, the other way we're going to look, I don't know. I mean, it's just going to be a toss-up because it's such an athletic other sectional. That's what you have to look at in that one to me, and there's so much speed in that other section.
By the way, if you look back to a year ago, it was Fort Wayne Northrop and a non-Fort Wayne team. Just a little bit down the road to the south was Huntington North, were the two teams from those two sectionals that made their way to Logansport. Carmel came out of that regional last year. You expect Lafayette, Jeff, and Carmel or one of Fisher's HSC Westfield by the time we get to the second weekend in March. But in terms of Fort Wayne is concerned, it's been a very balanced year in 4A. Now, again, the 2A conversation, not just in Fort Wayne, but really northern half of the bracket, the entire state has been who can stop Fort Wayne Blackhawk. I'm not sure there's an answer there, but there is a really good pocket of small school basketball in the Northeast Corner Conference. The fact that Westview is of that group, again, you expect that every year.
Yes.
We've talked about Prairie Heights, but Central Noble's got a pretty good team this year, too.
Coach John Bodie has done a fabulous job with that program right now. I believe they're 14-4 along those lines. They're coming up against a big ball game coming up this week against Prairie Heights. So this is a basketball team that rises. And this is a basketball team, and I know you'll appreciate this, has got the community of Albion, Indiana, energized about basketball. They play in front of full houses every night,
which is really cool. Obviously, the girls program has had very recent success, having won a state championship 2 years ago. Just down the road in East Noble, they make a state championship in football. It's been a good couple of years for the folks in Noble County, not just Kendallville, but the surrounding areas as well. Now, for me, obviously, I tend to focus on what goes on in Indianapolis. And on Saturday night, I saw Crispus Attucks do something that no one has done in 18 years. That's hang 100 on Ben Davis. And again, is this the Ben Davis team that made the state finals 2 of the last 3 years and won the championship over Fort Wayne Northside back in 2017? No, it's not. This is probably a very middle of the road, as their record would indicate, Ben Davis team. But Attucks absolutely blitzed them. 101. They followed up by playing Victory College Prep, a much smaller school, put up 111 on Tuesday night. They entered the weekend on the heels of a city championship and second in the state in scoring at under 80 points a game. And Sincere McMahon, I think he's an Indiana All-Star.
Well, I talked to you about it before the show today about Sincere McMahon, and when you look at this and what they got coming up, this is an exciting week of basketball, I believe, with Athletics and Blackhawk getting ready to go. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but man, that is some basketball team putting up over 200 points in a couple games.
All right, Athletics and Blackhawk, as Coach talked about, is one of our highlighted games we'll talk about in our preview segment coming up a bit later in the show.
What's up, State Champs Nation? Jenna Skalski here. We know you're getting some great hooping content here on Hangtime. However, did you know about our Winter Roundup show? Every Friday at 5:30 p.m., we dedicate an entire 20 minutes to all the other sports happening this winter, like girls basketball, wrestling, swimming, and gymnastics. Be sure to check it out on all of our socials, along with our brand new State Champs app.
I admit it. I love working with money, negotiating, and making big decisions. That's why I'm majoring in finance and economics at Lawrence Tech. What's truly amazing about the education here is the small class sizes that give me easy access to my professors who truly care about my future. They even helped me get a great internship. And I was able to fulfill my lifelong dream of playing college golf. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Welcome back to Hangtime, Indiana. If you haven't already, download the brand new State Champs app. It's free. You can find it on Google Play and the Apple Store. Back to the highlights.
I'm John Rawlings from the Evansville area. Over on the west side, we have an SIAC showdown between Wrights and Central. Virginia head coach Tony Bennett in the house to see Christian Lander, and he did not disappoint. Very first drive, Lander splitting defenders and finishing with some magic. Panthers draw first blood. Central responds from deep. Henry Brown to Caden Bird. The triple try ringing true. Bears in front by 1. Wrights responds by going back to Lander. Owen Deese finds him cutting inside. Then the classmates find each other again. This time, Deese goes up top to Lander. The tandem combined for 49 points. Wrights wins 66-59. The IEC also tangles with the Big 8. Princeton traveling to Memorial. Third quarter, visiting Tigers down 4. Dominic Hardiman to Braden Matthews. Princeton inching closer. Very next possession, Rhett Thompson gets out of the trap and he heads right to the rack. Princeton knotting things up at 25 apiece, but then Memorial goes on a little run. Cade Graham is good in transition. Then it's Justin Wise with the tough take in traffic for 2. This one goes to double overtime. Memorial edges Princeton 83-82. We have another Big 8 SIAC battle. Hairston taking on Lincoln. Warriors ready to roll on the road. Trayvon Hooks fires to Jayton Watson for the bucket, and Watson isn't done there. Later, spinning, fading, and hitting, giving his best tribute to Kobe. Warriors looking good early. Now the Owlsets get it going from deep. Emmanuel Smith to Julius Hardiman for the triple, but in the end, it is not enough. Hairston picks up a win on the road, 66-61. Big 8 foes clash, both Moonville and Washington with similar 2-1 conference records. First half, Ryan Smith slashes down the lane for the finish. Pioneers battling early. Now the Hatchets get defensive. Coward Jones gets the steal and goes the other way, and the Hatchets came to clean the glass as well. Logan Reister comes in for the flying putback. Washington takes it 57-42. And finally, we end in Huntingburg. PAC foes clash as Southridge hosts Forest Park. First quarter, Landon Nally jabs and fires away. The sophomore gets the friendly bounce on the road. Rangers in front by 3. Now here comes Isaac Eubler, running, gunning, and finishing. The lead now grows to 5. Southridge not backing down, though. Austin Keck drops it off to Sam Simmersheim. Southridge cuts the deficit to 3. Forest Park swings right back, though. Cooper Eubler fakes and drops the runner. It's a 6-point Ranger lead. Simmersheim is not leaving, though, getting to the block and knocking it off the window. Back and forth we go. This one would remain close. Drew Howard slashing through the defense. Forest Park takes it by 2, 48-46.
Lauren Plant back here, and I'm calling out all League of Legends players. That's right, eSports, to get your school signed up for this year's 4th annual league and tournament. Did you know that there has already been nearly $1 million given out in scholarship money by Lawrence Tech to not just the winning team of the tourney, but the runners-up too? Get 5 guys from your school. Regular season starts in February, playoffs in April, championship finale in May at Lawrence Tech in Southfield, Michigan. Sign up right now at statechampsesports.net. Oh yeah, the league is free. We're accepting teams from Indiana and Michigan. It's epic. Be a part of it. For all information, including sign up, go to statechampsesports.net and do it right now. Registration will end very soon.
Once again, back on State Champs Indiana Hangtime, Greg Rakestraw and Bob Stambazze. Time to get now to the games to watch throughout the state. And again, schedule's a bit different this week. A lot of boys games Thursday night, a lot of boys games Saturday afternoon, because obviously the girls sectionals take center stage Friday, Saturday coming up, of course, for semifinals and finals around the state, weather permitting. I'll start with the game that I'll have on Thursday night, Lawrence North and Carmel. Of course, Lawrence North has lost just one time this year. That was against North Central last Friday night. LN then backed it up with a victory against Homestead the very next day. Tony Perkins is a Mr. Basketball candidate, but Carmel's a team that they're very young, just one senior, but they're still playing that defense that they have done under Scott Heddy and now Ryan Osborne. This game's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, we talked about Carmel a couple weeks ago about their size, and that's always the thing you have to look at with them. Even though Lawrence North lost their game by 10 the other day, you look for them to bounce back here as they did against Homestead. This should be a darn good basketball game.
Again, Carmel, a young basketball team, a long basketball team. LN, their future is now. Carmel's best might be a year from now. It will not be easy for LN at the Eric Clark Activity Center on Thursday night. Fort Wayne Blackhawk, Crispus Attucks. This was part of Basketball Day in Indiana that the Indiana Pacers, the IHSAA, and Fox Sports Indiana put together. This year, the primary site, Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo. And simply put, these are two of the best teams in the state, regardless of classification. There's only one word I can think of that would accurately describe Saturday's game. And I'm not infringing on your gimmick. So
it's a slobber knocker.
Without doubt. Yes. A lot of slobber in that contest. Yeah. A lot of really good basketball players in that contest as well.
Well, they're going to me the Mecca. I mean, they're going to the NCC Arena down at Memorial Gymnasium. A lot of people look at Caleb first, averaging 23 points a game, but you can't forget about Marcus Davison and Zane Burke, both in big double figures. And this is the load. You try to double down on one, the other two burn you. That's why this team has played so well. And, oh, by the way, they're a 1A team that just basically is playing all 4A schools.
Right. I mean, they really have played the full Summit Athletic Conference schedule this year. Lost to Homestead back on a Tuesday night game in mid-January. I had their other loss against Silver Creek, and they led. That was one of the better performances I've seen in a loss in a long time, the way they played that night. Again, I know how good the other top teams in 2A are. Shenandoah comes to mind. Lytton Stockton comes to mind. I'm not sure anybody has an answer for First and Blackhawk when it comes to 2A.
Well, I'll say this. In the sectional, First will go up against the 6'9 kid, the Elijah Vandervelten from Wabash. This kid's 6'9". Wabash is going to come at him. So this will be a good match because the kid's very agile, very mobile, and really gets off the floor.
Again, athleticism is what they will face in great detail, and a really solid 8-man rotation that Chris Hawkins put together at Crispus Attucks. That game alone is worth the price of admission in Kokomo coming up on Saturday afternoon. Mississinawa and Delta, these are two of the better teams in 3A. And Ole Miss is a team that's just kind of now getting into the top 10, only lost twice all year.
I've had the opportunity to see them a couple times, and this is a very athletic, not a very big team. I think the biggest post player they have is like 6'4", very athletic, but that once again, they got three guys that put the ball in the bucket that have around 15 points a game, very athletic, will pressure the basketball, and they pass the ball, very unselfish, and you will really like that about these Mississinawa Indians.
This is a big week in classes 1A and 2A, and we briefly touched on one of the big games in 2A, Northeast Corner Conference contest between 2A number 9 Prairie Heights and Central Noble that comes up on Thursday. Also a ranked team in 2A is University. Brandon Lafferman's done a great job of building that program. They are up on enrollment from 1A to 2A this year. Their girls team undefeated heading into the section this week. Boys teams in the top 10. They take on Brebeuf coming up on Thursday night. Todd Howard's team got an impressive victory, really slowing down a Chittard team that had it rolling, beat them by nearly 30 last Friday night. That should be a good game on Thursday night. But now to 1A we go. Morristown plays host to number 1 Greenwood Christian Academy, a Greenwood Christian team that 3 or 4 weeks ago won the Johnson County tournament by beating Center Grove in the championship game.
I looked at their schedule when you give me this game to look at it, and I'm going, oh my, is there anybody they aren't afraid of playing? They play everybody in the state and anybody in the state, and they got so many double-digit scores, and that's another type of team that you love to see. It says one big word, unselfish, and that's what I like about this team from Greenwood Christian, 17-0.
Scott McClellan may have made a fatal flaw in his game preparation. He invited me to come speak to his team before the big game. So if they win on Thursday, it's all on Coach. If they lose, I'm the guy that sent it off the rails, so you can blame me about that. Best of luck to both teams. Yellow Jackets, of course, the 1A state champs 2 years ago. They come in at 13-4. Elsewhere, 2 very good 1A teams play at 4A competition that have really good records. Bar Reeve is at Jasper. Bar Reeve, of course, has 1 loss. That was Lagodi earlier in January. And Central Catholic, I saw him against Jeff a couple of weeks ago. Awfully close there. Coach Reinhardt and the folks at Harrison play host to Central Catholic on Thursday night, and that should be a couple of fantastic games.
Definitely get there early.
Right.
There'll be some people in the gym and looking a lot at Central Catholic. Carson Barrett, 20 points a game. The thing jumps out at me is 10 rebounds. No, that's okay. 6 assists a game and a couple steals. By the way, he swept the floor the other day.
21 points or so a game, but when I had him against Jeff 2 weeks ago, he was top 15 in the state in both rebounds and assists per game. The point forward, point center, the entire offense runs through Barrett, and again, he is certainly an Indiana All-Star candidate. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Lauren, back to you.
It's time now to take an inside look at Lawrence Technological University. Blue and White Days are designed to inform potential undergraduate students about what Lawrence Tech has to offer. Each prospective student has the opportunity to visit campus, speak with a counselor, meet current students, and take a tour. Picking a university is one of the hardest decisions any young adult has to make, but one of the best things any college-bound high school student can do is pay a visit to their schools of interest. And when you come down to any of the LTU Blue and White Days, the faculty and staff around campus are more than ready to help get you acquainted with your potential future home. The counselors at LTU believe that it is very important for students to get a look at any school they may be attending because finding the right fit is a vital part of a happy and successful college experience. The staff at Lawrence Tech makes it their mission to make it very simple to schedule your visit date. Blue and White Days will take place on select Fridays during the month of February. For more information about Blue and White Days and all other great programs and events LTU has to offer, just go to their website at ltu.edu today to learn more.
That's it, you guys. Please follow State Champs Indiana on all the socials. Please download the brand new free State Champs app. Currently, we cover both the state of Michigan and Indiana. Click on Indiana for all the great high school sports content from the Hoosier State. I'm Lauren Plant. We'll see you next week.
State Champs Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University, where Blue Devils dare. Also in partnership with the Indiana High School Athletic Association.